Coming up, it's cold outside. One thing you can do to keep warm as temperatures drop across the country. Then Dr. John will answer your latest questions about the pandemic.
When will the pandemic be over?
Also, Out of This World, we'll tell you about a powerful telescope that will allow us to see more of the universe than ever before. Plus, Dad, how do I? We'll get some fatherly advice from a dad who has become a huge hit on YouTube.
How do you do the floss?
And bundle of joy. Meet this adorable baby boy who was just born at the San Diego Zoo. And acts of kindness. What two siblings in Colorado did over the holidays to support their community in need.
Even though I'm a kid, I can still make a difference.
This is NBC Nightly News, Kids Edition.
Welcome back to Nightly News Kids Edition. It's great to be with you guys. We have a jam-packed lineup this week, including a story about two siblings who did something really special over the holidays for kids in Colorado. Plus, are you an animal lover? And did you ever wonder what it's like to be a veterinarian? We'll take a look at this profession in the latest installment of our Career Day series. A vet will be here to answer your questions. And a little later, just how do you do the floss?
And then you go here, and you're back here.
Back here, okay. We've got a dad demo, so stick around. But first, let's begin with the news headlines, shall we? This week marked 1 year in office for President Joe Biden. One of the biggest issues President Biden faced during his first year has, of course, been the pandemic. New cases continue to surge in parts of the country due to the highly transmissible Omicron variant we've been hearing so much about, while there are a few places in the U.S. that are beginning to see a drop after having a real bad several weeks. All this comes as another round of frigid temperatures is hitting much of the country this week, along with some snow and ice. We know you guys have questions, so let's get straight to them. Joining us now in our Ask the Doc segment is our pal, Dr. John Torres. And Dr. John, before we get to our viewer questions this week, first I want to ask you about the frigid temperatures many parts of the country are experiencing this week. What is one thing kids can do to help them stay warm when going outside?
And, the main thing is to bundle up according to the temperature, and it's probably colder than you think. And the main things you need to think about are your ears, your nose, your fingers, and your toes. So definitely, you want to make sure you put a jacket on because we all do that to stay warm. But on top of that, don't forget to wear your gloves as well. They'll keep your fingers warm. Put your hat on so that way you can keep your head warm. And then throw a scarf on too. That way you can keep your neck warm the whole time as well. And that way you can stay warm. You can take them off if you're getting too hot. And then you can continue to enjoy the play and enjoy the outside temperature. It's great to go outdoors even when it's cold, as long as you're bundled up appropriately. You
look comfortably. I'm not a hat guy normally, but I started wearing hats in the winter more. It really does make a difference. You do lose a lot of heat out of the top of your head there. All right, well, let's get to our viewer questions. The first two come from New Jersey.
Hi, I'm Adeline and I'm 9. And I'm Thea and I'm 6. We live in Cherry Hill, New Jersey. Today we have 2 questions for you. When will the pandemic be over, and what has to happen for it to end or for it to go away? Thanks! Bye!
Evelyn and Thayer, thanks very much. It's a question we've all been asking. How does this end?
And Lester, this is the question that everybody has, especially now that we're 2 years into the pandemic. And I think a lot of people are thinking the pandemic will probably end sometime this year. Doesn't mean the virus will go away because we have to learn how to live with it, but it means we won't have all the restrictions we do have. But in order for that to happen, which is the second part of their question, we need to get enough people protected from the virus. And that means mostly through vaccinations, getting our vaccination rates high, not just here, but around the world, because we know that what happens in other parts of the world can affect what happens here too. And once that happens, then I think the pandemic will be over and we'll get to go on with our normal lives.
Won't that be a great day? Our next question comes from Idaho.
Hello, my name is Remy and I live in Victor, Idaho, and this is my lizard Pinky. And my question is, do you have to get the COVID vaccine shot just once every year or just once in a lifetime? And I love Nightly News, Kids Edition. Bye.
Well, Dr. John, what about that?
Yeah, I love Remy, and I love Pinky, the lizard. That's a great lizard to have. But this is one of those things that we're trying to figure out right now. And most experts are thinking we're probably going to need the shot every now and then, maybe every year. You might be getting it like you do the flu shot, but more than likely every 3, 5, or maybe even every 10 years. The reason you've gotten so many so close together is because we've never seen this virus before. But now that we've seen the virus, now that we're a little more protected against the virus, we think we can stretch out those shots and hopefully more than every year. But it might be just like the flu shot, so be ready for that too.
Okay, our last question comes from Michigan.
Hi, my name is Charlotte. I'm from Michigan. My question is, how did COVID-19 start? Thank you. I love Kids Edition.
That's been one of the mysteries, right, Doc?
That has been one of the mysteries, and scientists have spent 2 years trying to figure out exactly how it starts. But one of the things we do know is it probably started in animals, because viruses do that. They'll start in animals and they'll go to humans, or they'll start in humans and they'll go to animals. It's a very small world and we interact a lot. The animals they're mostly looking at, one of them is called a pangolin, and these are animals in China. The pangolin, it kind of looks like an anteater, but it has body armor on it, and they interact with those animals a lot. The other one is a bat. They think it might have come from bats because we have a lot of different viruses that bats give to humans. And so they're looking into that. It's important we find that out so that way we can figure out where this virus came from, how to treat this virus better, and hopefully how to prevent other viruses from doing the same thing in the future, Lester.
Yeah, in the end, it's all about learning lessons and applying them. Dr. John Torres, as always, thanks very much.
You bet.
Let's turn to another story making headlines this week. A huge asteroid, twice the size of the Empire State Building, made its closest approach of the next 2 centuries, flying safely past Earth on Tuesday. The asteroid, which is called a near-Earth asteroid, only got within about 1 million miles of us. What is an asteroid, though? Well, they're rocky objects revolving around the sun that are too small to be planets. Speaking of space, we want to tell you about an exciting new space telescope that recently launched. And now, after weeks of complicated maneuvers, the largest and most powerful space telescope ever built is just a few days away from its final destination. Our friend Aaron McLaughlin has more.
James Webb now has its array out.
Way out in space, the most powerful telescope ever has now completed some of the trickiest parts of its journey. This week, it successfully deployed its massive mirror and sun shield, and in just a few days, it will begin preparing to take super detailed photographs of our universe. If you're wondering why scientists are so excited about this new telescope, take a look at these pictures. They were taken by the Hubble telescope, a different telescope NASA launched about 30 years ago. And they're the most detailed images we have of planets, nebulas, and even whole galaxies. The new Webb telescope is 100 times more powerful than Hubble. So imagine what we're going to see now. It's basically like scientists are updating to a new computer after 30 years. But here's what's totally crazy. You can think of telescopes both like the most awesome camera ever and also like a real-life time machine. Because when a telescope picks up light from really far away in the universe, that light is actually really old because it's been traveling for so long. So when we see it, we're really seeing what the universe looked like millions or sometimes billions of years ago. In other words, the farther away you can look, the farther into the past you can see. In just a few months, the Webb telescope will start taking amazing pictures that will take us closer to the start of the universe than ever before. And that's going to help us unlock all sorts of mysteries about space. If everything goes well, we should have our first images by the summer. When that happens, it will mark the beginning of a brand new era of space exploration, which is a very exciting thing to experience firsthand. And you can be sure we'll keep you updated here on Nightly News Kids.
Aaron, thanks so much. Let's head to California now to share our picture of the week. Check this little guy out. The San Diego Zoo just welcomed a male Sumatran orangutan. The 2-week-old baby boy is the first orangutan to be born at the zoo in more than 7 years. These orangutans are listed as critically endangered. What a cutie he is. Well, time now for our Career Day series, where we take you behind the scenes and tell you all about some cool and interesting jobs. And today we've got a possum one for you. A hint, this job involves lots of four-legged friends along with some tender, loving care.
Hi, sweet cakes. Hello. Hello.
Meet Otis. He's getting a checkup from Dr. Klippen.
Looking at the back of their eye, making sure everything looks okay.
Sometimes animals have to visit the doctor too, just like humans. But our pets go see a different kind of doctor called a veterinarian.
A veterinarian is responsible for the care of animals. So we will diagnose medical conditions. We will attempt to make treatment plans to hopefully provide a level of care for them.
Dr. Klippen is a veterinarian who works at this animal hospital.
I personally treat dogs and cats, but veterinarians have to undergo all sorts of animal learning throughout veterinary school. So I had to learn all about goats and pigs and horses and cows, in addition to dogs and cats.
I just wanted a general checkup that he has to have every year, and I'm not too worried about him.
During an exam, I'm going to have a focused assessment, and so I'm going to look at all of their major body conditions to see if I can find anything abnormal that might be causing an animal to not feel its best.
We shared some of your questions with Dr. Klippen.
My name is Maxwell Richards from Washington, D.C., and here's my first question. What's the fastest time you healed an animal? And my second question is, how many animals come to you a day?
So it would be nice to say that I can instantly fix pets. Sometimes I can, sometimes it takes a little bit of time. And in regards to the second question, prior to COVID, our hospital would see about 67,000 patients would come through the door on a yearly basis.
Veterinarians don't just work in hospitals, they help animals in other places too.
There are veterinarians in the military. There are veterinarians that work in science and pharmaceuticals. There are veterinarians that work at the zoo. All of those things are needed so that we can make sure that those animals stay healthy.
For Dr. Klippen, taking care of animals is a fulfilling career.
The most rewarding thing that I get out of my job is seeing an animal that shouldn't have gone home, should not have survived, who have been able to overcome all of those odds to go back to their family.
Veterinarians taking special care of our pets.
He's a good boy.
One furry friend at a time.
Yes.
All right, well, we want to introduce you now to a dad who has been on a mission to help kids and grown-ups in need of some fatherly advice. When the pandemic hit, Rob Kenney started posting videos online teaching some life lessons like how to set up a tent in your backyard or tie a necktie. He also shared some inspirational messages on his How Do I YouTube channel. Since then, the father of two has accumulated some 3.7 million followers on his YouTube channel. And joining us now is Rob Kenney. Rob, it's really great to have you on. Congratulations for all your success with this.
Thanks very much, Lester. I appreciate it.
When I heard about you, I thought there's got to be some really good backstory as to how this got started. So tell us how it got started.
Yeah, I'll tell you a little bit. So, I come from a broken home myself, and so I had to learn how to do a lot of things on my own. When I was 14, my dad left, and so, I learned a lot of things the hard way, and then I vowed to never do that once I got married and had my kids, to hang in there and keep, learning right alongside my own kids. And so, again, I've learned a lot of things the hard way, so I'm trying to share what I've learned so people don't have to learn it the hard way.
Well, you get a lot of different questions, and we'll hear some of them in a minute, but are you stumped sometimes? Do you have to kind of look up things and study for yourself in order to answer these questions?
A little bit, yeah. I got to be careful not to overstep my, my knowledge. I am just a dad doing the best I can to help people. I've had people say, Dad, how do I rewire my whole house? Well, you're going to have to go elsewhere for that, because I can't possibly help you.
So I won't ask for any medical advice either. I assume that's in the same category.
That's a wise choice
of things we don't talk about. But what is your goal in creating this platform?
Yeah, I just want to leave a legacy, like I said, I wanted to raise good adults. That was a goal of my wife and mine. And then, I got in my mid 50s and I was like, okay, well, now what? I got some life left to live, and what can I do to help other people, help the next generation. And I talk to my daughter and my son, all the time about adulting, and so I thought, well, let me try to put this in a channel. And my daughter kept encouraging me. I'm like anybody else, I procrastinate. So I don't know if it ever would have happened, but because of the pandemic, it kind of forced my hand, because I was at home like everybody else. And so I did How to Tie a Tie, and then it kind of took off from there.
Yeah, I mean, these videos have had such a huge reaction. They really resonated with a lot of folks. Do people just think you're like a really, really smart guy?
Well, maybe I fooled them then, Lester, if that's the case. I think I have pretty good common sense. I would also consider myself kind of a simpleton, where I have to get my head around something so I can figure out how to do it. And so I have to break it down to simple steps, and that's what I try to show on my channel. So I think people appreciate that I'm not showing you how talented I am. I'm trying to empower you to be able to do it.
No, I think it's an amazing idea. The videos are often about teaching others how to do something. So a couple of our Nightly News Kids Edition viewers have a couple of questions for you. The first one is from AJ. Take a listen.
Hi, my name is AJ. How do you fix a flat tire on my bicycle? Bye! I love Nightly News Kids Edition.
Thank you for watching. And that's a great question, how to fix a flat tire.
Yeah, that is great. Thanks, AJ, for asking that one. I haven't done that one on my channel yet. I did bring my tire, though. I took the tire off my bike. My kids are out of the house, so I don't have any smaller tires anymore. It's a little involved, but just a couple quick hints. You want to let the air out all the way, just to make sure that it does actually need to be repaired. It might just need to be pumped up, and you would just inflate it you'd find that nozzle and inflate it. So once you know that all the air's out, you just got to go around the tire and remove the tube. And so you actually use a couple screwdrivers and pry that off, and then remove the tube from the inside. You can actually fix the tire by patching it. I would just get a new inner tube, put the new inner tube back in, and then seal it back up and pump it up, and you're ready to go. Like I said, I'll probably do that on my channel, because it's a little more involved than that. I don't want to make it sound like it's that simple.
Yeah, and when you do something like that on the channel, you would do it more step by step and really walk through every step.
Absolutely. Yeah, I would walk you right through how to actually remove that, but I don't know how much time we have, so I wasn't prepared to do it all the way.
No, awesome. Our next question comes from Autumn.
Hi, my name is Autumn, and my question is, how do you do the floss? Like this, or like this?
I think any of those work for me. That when she said floss, I'm thinking dental floss, but clearly she had something else in mind. Rob, you take this one.
I think I'd be a little more qualified to actually show you how to floss your teeth, and I might throw out a hip trying to show you how to do that. But if Lester, how about you? Or is this something that are you willing to try this?
Well, I will. If you will, I will.
Okay. Let me back up my camera.
Okay. I don't know. I guess we'll back up my camera as well. I'll stand for this. I've never done this. It used to be you could do silly things on TV, and then they wouldn't go on forever. This will last forever, unfortunately. But so it's this thing, right?
Here's how I understand it. You want to get your arms kind of straight,
right?
Okay, straight out, and then you swing into the side, and your hips go the opposite way.
Got it. So
and then
this kind of thing going on.
Here goes behind you, right? And the other one goes in front, and then you go here, and you're back here.
Back here. Okay.
We're both going to throw out a hip, probably.
I think I just announced a touchdown. I don't know what I just did there. This is fun. Do you get a lot of stuff like this?
I have, here, let me sit back down.
Okay, I'll sit down too.
I have kids of all ages. So that's the funny thing. I've had 80-year-olds tell me, thanks for being there. You remind me of my dad. And so I love it. I'm so grateful that I went viral for something, that's wholesome. And, I'm hoping that my channel can be endearing to people, because I have people coming on my channel and just watching me and crying watching me tie a tie, just because of the dad moment that maybe they never had or that they miss.
Yeah, and you know, being a dad, as you know, is the best job in life. I've got 2 sons myself, so it's important, and it's also important to let them learn things and set them up, obviously, and you know, figure it out for themselves. But Rob Kenney, really, really great to talk to you, and congratulations, and I think it's terrific what you're doing.
Well, thanks, Lester. Yeah, and you said it right. You know, it's so much easier when my kids were growing up. I could have just done it myself, you know, probably done it faster, but I always wanted to include them because I wanted to empower them so that then when they went out on their own, they knew how to do these things. So I think that's important.
Okay, next time my question will how to follow IKEA instructions in putting together a closet. That's for another day.
That's a good one.
Finally, today in our Inspiring Kids series, 2 siblings in Colorado are spreading kindness to kids who lost a whole lot over the holidays. With more on that, here's our friend Kristen Dahlgren.
Sejal and Avi Iyengar were watching the news at home when they learned about the Marshall Fire that ripped through their own Colorado community and destroyed more than 1,000 homes right around the holidays.
I felt sad. Me and Avi felt bad for the other kids who lost their homes. Our community was struggling and we needed to help.
The siblings wanted to do something to help.
I gave Mom my dino piggy bank and I said, Mom, buy as much toys as you can.
With money from her children's piggy banks, Angina bought more than 200 toys to donate to families who lost their homes.
We came home from school and we saw all the toys and we were happy that my mom went to the store and used our allowance to buy these toys for the other kids.
In addition to donating new toys, the kids also included a few presents from under their own tree.
We donated some of our Christmas gifts to give them for the people who lost their houses.
They packed their trunk and took the toys to a local restaurant that the owner turned into a fire relief station for people who had lost everything. For Avi, it's especially personal. One of his classmates lost their home in the fire. He made a special gift bag just for his friend.
We took a smashing egg, we took dinosaurs, we took trucks, and we took a remote control car.
And he hopes that these toys can bring a smile to the kids' faces.
I hope the kids like it, and I hope the kids play with it.
Sejal said it felt good to help others.
I would say, even though I'm a kid, I can still make a difference.
Kristen, thanks so much, and what a very sweet story. Well, kids, that's going to do it for us. Parents, just a reminder, if your child has a question about any topic in the news, we want to hear from you. Email a video to us at nightlynewskids@nbcuni.com, and we'll try to answer them in an upcoming program. You can also follow us on Instagram at @nightlykids. Thanks for watching, everyone, and remember, take care of yourself and each other. So long.